Students who come from all over the world, follow their dreams, and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York, home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a green college, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
In life, things aren't scripted.
It is the beginning of April, and that means one thing. A trip to the NCAA tournament is on the line. This is the 2026 CUNYAC Men's Volleyball Final featuring the 3-seeded Baruch Bearcats and the top-seeded Jersey City Gothic Knights here in the CUNY Athletic Conference. Hello, everybody, and welcome courtside. He's Mike Higgins. I'm John Perez. And, Mike, this is the best time of the year if you're a volleyball fan.
Absolutely. And this final is going to have a little bit of a different feel to it to the fans because for the first time in 12 years, it's not the usual Baruch-Hunter matchup. Baruch made it back here, but now a new challenger enters the arena. NJCU, affiliate members for the first time this year, a perfect 8-0 in the conference, and it should be a great match.
Should be a great match. Let's see how we got here and the bracket. So you mentioned NJCU, the top seed. Baruch comes in as the 3 seed, but knocking off Hunter. That's usually the final matchup here, but not today. And then NJCU, after dropping a 30-28 first set against John Jay, brush off the Bloodhounds to set up this matchup. Okay, so let's start with the Bearcats. They come in as the defending champs. 20 straight years that they've been in the finals. And as we look at the recap of the 2026 campaign, for the Baruch Bearcats, coming in at 14-12, 6-2 in conference play. This is a Bearcats team that is very loaded. We just had it right there. You see the signature win. Looking for a 16th CUNYAC title, and the 2 players to watch for the Bearcats today. One is a Rookie of the Year. Another is a fantastic hitter. The 2 impact players for the Baruch Bearcats, as it's Arjen Osmanai and Peter Gavroff.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Gavroff, this team goes through him. He's been the catalyst all season for the Bearcats. Leads the team in kills, digs, and aces. As for Arjen, he stepped up as a leader this season. He's on the opposite pin, and he's got his brother setting him this year. So they got that sibling connection going.
All right, so that's Baruch. Let's take a look at NJCU and how they got here. 19-9, 9-0 now with that victory over John Jay. The regular season champions leading the conference in points, hitting percentage, and blocks. They seek their first CUNYAC title, and they're going to be led by a couple of all-conference all-stars as well, as it is Marcus Paradisi as well as Amaru Perales and, of course, Alexis Casillas.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Casillas, 2,840 career assists to his name. He's been the top setter in the conference this year, averaging over 9 assists per set, and at 6'5", one of the top blockers in the CUNYAC as well, 69 this year, second only to his teammate Victor D'Souza. And then you've got his go-to guy, Pardesi, who had a season-high 21 kills last night against John Jay.
It's Baruch, it's NJCU, and right now on the court they're honoring the regular season champions as well as the referees will step aside when we come back. Starting lineups and first touch. Hear from Hunter.
Events like open house.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
Yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York, home to hundreds of leaders and named.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Welcome back to Hunter College, Baruch and NJCU, and the introductions for the Baruch Bearcats. And there we mentioned the two brothers, Arjen and Ari Osmanai, both from Bayard Rustin, both seniors. They bring a lot to the table, Mike.
Absolutely. Ari making the transition from middle this year to setter, and the offenses look just as good as it did under Ryan Oman last year, who's now an assistant coach. As for the rest of the starters, you got your Peter Gavroff, you got your two young guys, Ben Nierenstein and Brennan O'Connor in the middle. And Zach Yao also making a position change this year. He goes from middle to libero, and he's looked solid all season long.
I think what's really interesting about this matchup is that for Baruch, you've got star power versus balance. On the other side for NJCU, they probably felt slighted, and they felt that there could have been more guys on the CUNYAC all-conference team. That's not the case, but certainly a reason why they're undefeated in conference play. But as you look at Peter Gavroff, everything runs through Gavroff on the offensive side.
Absolutely. Like I said, second in the conference in kills this year, 283 on the year. Also leads the team in digs and aces. Brady Ambro, he really worked on defense and passing all season with Peter Gavroff, and it's really made him a more well-rounded player.
So is Brady Ambrose now in his first season, former player. What are some of the keys for Baruch if they're going to pull off the victory?
So he said serve receive is what we focused on from the very beginning when we talked to him earlier this week. If we could side out and control our first touches, whether it's on serve receive or back at the service line, that's hopefully what's going to be able to push us over the edge. He also mentioned how blocking has improved down the stretch, and he's hoping that that's what's going to help the defense succeed. And if those two are working hand in hand, it'll be a successful night. In the regular season matchup between these two on March 19th, there were some moments where the team fell flat, and Coach Ambrose says a little more consistency is going to be the key this time around.
Well, now here's NJCU, an interesting story for them. This will be their first and only CUNYAC championship. Of course, the university announcing that they're merging with Kane University. So this is a little bit of representation for the Gothic Knights, and they have a lot on their shoulders. Not just a championship that they want to represent for their program, but for their fellow classmates that will no longer be Gothic Knights when the school year ends.
Yeah, we talked to Carlo Edra earlier this week. He mentioned when we lose, we feel it way more than any other team feels it because this is the end of the road. There is no tomorrow. And the ultimate goal of winning a championship for Jersey City hangs in the balance tonight.
Well, there's Amaru Perales, first team all-conference, 9th in the conference in kills. And it's going to be interesting to see the way that the Gothic Knights set up their shop in the middle.
Absolutely. Amaru Perales, he's been unstoppable all season. Leads the team in hitting percentage at .379. And Carlo Edra, like he said arrogantly, but he's right. He's been tough to stop all season. Nobody's figured it out. Great blocker as well. Him and Victor D'Souza, the other middle, go hand in hand. He's at 6'7", D'Souza just 5'10", but he jumps out of the gym.
So the NJCU Gothic Knights, the Baruch Bearcats. And of course, how apropos for the Gothic Knights who come in, and if they want to win a CUNYAC championship, they're going to run through Baruch. Winners of 15 CUNYAC championships. They've won the last 5, and Carlo Edra, now the coach of the year, trying to bring some hardware back to Jersey City and get some rings for his players. And it should be a fun matchup here tonight.
Yeah, back when NJCU was with the Skyline Conference, he was a 3-time Skyline Coach of the Year. Won a Skyline championship in 2021. That's, to date, NJCU's only NCAA tournament appearance. But this one's going to mean a lot more if they get it done tonight, especially since 2021 was shortened due to COVID. They've got a full season under their belt now, and his guys are ready. They are hungry, and they are playing for pride right now, school pride, as this is the end of the road. There is no tomorrow.
Now you see the Baruch Bearcats, the team from Lexington, going up the street. And I'll ask you, and this will be the only Baruch question for you, obviously a former player. Is it a little extra sweeter winning on Hunter's campus?
Oh, absolutely. Back when I played, this is all we ever wanted. I mean, it's not the purple and gold in front of them tonight, but the atmosphere here at the Sportsplex is always unmatched, especially when the guys from 24th Street are in the building.
We saw some backflips, saw some tosses in the air, and the vibes are high here between Baruch and NJCU. Baruch will be wearing their road midnight blues, and NJCU in the home whites with the green and yellow numerals. And so Baruch trying to keep the legacy alive on their side, and NJCU trying to crash the party. As Baruch, only 14 wins, but they play a national schedule, and they're riding momentum high. Knocked off Hunter in the semifinals, and so the Baruch Bearcats, after 18 wins a year ago, only 14 wins this year, but did knock off the number 16 team in the nation, the Rutgers Newark volleyball squad last Saturday, and since then they've been on a high, and they've won 6 straight sets.
Yeah, they did not squeak by the skin of their teeth in that Rutgers Newark game. They hit 419 in that game. And the offense has just exploded ever since that game, especially last night against Hunter where they hit 397. and they held Hunter to just 113.
Ari Osmanai, the senior, is set to tee it off for Baruch. And this is the 2026 CUNYAC Men's Volleyball Final. And NJCU starts it off and right down the middle. That's Victor D'Souza, the senior from Newark, New Jersey. Hitting at 265, he's 8th in the conference, and that's NJCU's game.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, he's one of the smallest guys on the court. The only guy smaller than him is the libero, Anthony Matute. But he plays like the biggest guy in the gym, always in the weight room, trying to get that vertical up.
Ishmael Sanogo getting the start in the middle as that falls in front of Gavroff. And a 2-0 lead for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, how about Solomon Brown? Just elevated into the starting lineup midway through the season due to a struggling Mike McGeehee.
Here's Sanogo, missed it. And a 3-0 spurt for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, Sanogo getting the start tonight. It's usually Aaron Clark in there, but he's been out the past couple of games due to an ankle injury that he sustained in their matchup with St. Thomas Aquinas.
Set up Sanogo. Back the other way and just out of the reach for Marcus Pardesi. And Baruch will take over on the side out.
Yeah, you gotta love Ari Osmanai going right back to his middle even after an attack error. This isn't a guy that started all season long. You gotta have the confidence on the biggest stage here.
Ben Nierenstein, the freshman from Brooklyn, the CUNYAC Rookie of the Year in his second team All-Conference selection. Casillas to set up. And that's blocked but out as Gavroff couldn't tuck it inside the line, and a 4-1 lead for NJCU.
Yeah, Marcus Pardesi is such a smart player ever since he walked onto campus here at NJCU. He didn't even play any high school volleyball before NJCU. He was more of a project. And Carlo Edra took a chance on him. And it's paid dividends.
Sanogo tries the punch, but hits it out. And that's the interesting thing. Pardesi was a player that would just play barbecue volleyball, is what Carlo Edra said. Showed up to the gym and just balled out. And he's a CUNYAC first-team selection. Gavroff denied off the fingertips of Osmanai, both brothers. And NJCU fast out of the gate, taking 6 of the first 7 points.
Yeah, that's NJCU's bread and butter, their block. Only team in the CUNYAC averaging over 2 blocks per set. Mainly because of that guy, Victor D'Souza.
And so Pardesi back at the line, the junior from Paramus, New Jersey. Here's the setup, Osmanai, that's out. A little discombobulation from Baruch to start off. Not really playing in their system. And Ambro calls a timeout. A 7-1 lead for NJCU. We're going to take a quick break in the 2026 CUNYAC Men's Volleyball Final.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
Yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a green college, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place.
A 7-1 lead for NJCU and consistent serving from Marcus Pardesi. He had 21 kills in the semifinal win over John Jay, and that sails out. And that's what you got to love if you're Brady Ambro off the timeout. Getting a service error and a side out.
It was nearly misplayed back there by the Rookie of the Year, Nierenstein. He just swung and missed at it, it looked like. Lucky to see that one go out.
So it's Ishmael Sanogo. Floats it over. Alex Casillas. Good stop by O'Connor. Second opportunity. Solomon off to Osmanai. And Sanogo will tee it up to Gavrov. Set up Gavrov. Far side. Off the antenna.
And Baruch arguing that it hit the block first. But they're giving the point to NJCU. They say antenna first. Hard to tell from our vantage point, but there were a lot of hands up on Gavrov, as there should be.
Russell Rodriguez, the referee in the high chair, Paul DeCurtis, and then at the table, Danny O and Jackie Wong. Osmanai, and Arjun puts it down.
There's that sibling connection. Played together in high school, won a PSAL championship together with Ari Setting. And when Ari walked on here at Baruch, he was told he wasn't going to make the team as a setter, which is why he's made the switch to middle. And now he's just been outstanding as a setter this year.
That's going to fall in. And a 9-3 lead for NJCU.
See the Gothic Knights go to their bench. Eric Bakulima checking in. He's had the back row all season for Solomon Brown.
Yeah, Bakulima, only a sophomore, averaging just over a dig per set and a soft serve. Nierenstein, O'Connor denied. Going right into the teeth of the front line for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, there's Amaru Perales. We talked about how Carlo Edra mentioned nobody has figured out how to stop him. We see him doing it on the defensive end early.
Osmanai tries to go over the back. Casillas. And there's Zachary Yao. Big slough from Gavrov. And that's what Baruch wants to do tonight.
Absolutely. They haven't really gotten him going yet after that 7-1 start by NJCU. They just got to start feeding him now. I get you don't want to be too predictable, but this is your guy. Two-time tournament MVP in the CUNYAC, the last two.
Pushed over, that'll float out. And so Baruch cuts the deficit in half.
That's Matt Peralta hitting that one out. He was the Skyline Rookie of the Year last season. Now a sophomore.
Not only Rookie of the Year, also a first teamer, which usually doesn't go hand in hand. But a heck of a player. Gavrov calls everyone off. They set up Nierenstein, and the southpaw puts it out.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Nierenstein get going yet. We've seen a lot of balls go to Arjun Osmanai and the middles. But the two leaders in kills, they haven't really gotten going just yet.
Peralta back to the line, 6'3" sophomore, 9 kills, 4 digs against John Jay. 6-point lead for NJCU in the first set.
And that's set just a little too tight to the net from Ari. And it lands the freshman Brennan O'Connor in the net.
What are you seeing out of NJCU that they've been able to build a lead?
Their block has just been absolutely suffocating so far throughout the first 17 points. We saw it right there. If you get a ball tight to the net, that's going straight to the floor.
A rare miscue for NJCU as Peralta shanks it. And so Ambro will go to the bench, and he brings on Caleb Lee Wen, the sophomore from Austin, Texas. Caleb 2 digs in the win over Hunter last night. A sweep for Baruch, 25-20, 25-19, and 25-22.
It's been a long time since Baruch has swept Hunter in their gym.
Osmanai doesn't get it over, and Ari puts it short. And so NJCU holding on to that 7-point lead as Ambro will resub. Yao comes back in, the libero.
Yeah, you got to find a way to send that ball over, especially getting an incredible dig from your serving specialist, Lee Wen.
Gavrov. Back the other way. Pardesi and Gavrov. Nierenstein. Yao in the back row. Good no look from Ari Osmanai. Long rally. And that really plays to the strength of the Gothic Knights. The longer the rally, the more it's going to help NJCU tonight. That's what Carlo Edger was saying.
Yeah, as a former player, those long rallies, whoever ends up getting the point ends up getting a lot more momentum, especially on those really long ones.
And between the two teams, Baruch, a team that is a little bit more error-prone, as Nierenstein's shot is blocked out of play.
Here's the first kill for the Rookie of the Year. And Alex Josias calling on the line judge to talk to the official.
And they reverse it.
I guess they're saying it was touched on its way out.
And so that puts NJCU up 9. More importantly, it keeps them at the service line. Here's Perales, CUNYAC first teamer. Gavrov right down the middle, denied. That's Victor D'Souza, only 5'10", but he can get up.
Oh, yeah. That ball did catch a lot of tape, but he takes away so much space for a guy his size.
Regular season sweep between these two, NJCU winning 3-1 and 3-0. And a rare miscue for Perales at the service line.
Yeah, Brady Ambrose barking at the official saying foot fault. That one was clear as day.
All right, so Mike, Baruch has to stop the bleeding. It's got to start at the service line.
Absolutely.
Casillas, little touch from D'Souza. Far side, Nierenstein puts it down.
There's his first kill of the day, for real this time. Had 10 last night against Hunter, including the game winner.
That's what they should put in the box score with a little asterisk. That's the real one. Osmanai tries to go back row, but a little too much mustard, and an error for Baruch. This is a team that had one too many errors last night, 12 at the service line. Something that Ambrose was adamant about saying, got to do a better job of cutting that down.
Yeah, Baruch really dominated Hunter in all facets of play last night. The only reason why all 3 sets were so close was because of the service errors.
Nierenstein can't tuck it inside the line.
And you wonder if it's in their head now that NJCU's block is just so good, and they're just not trying to find hands at all at this point.
Well, Gavrov saw the hands and said, I'm going to swat right into it, and got it through.
You give him a hole in the block, he will take it. Just as effective out of the back row as he is in the front.
Nierenstein, and he puts it in the net.
And that's back-to-back service errors now from the Bearcats. Can't have that in a deficit like this.
Second opportunity at the service lane for Pardisi. Marcus tees it up, jump serve. Ari to Argent. Will float out, point Gothic Knights.
Yeah, those balls are just a little too tight to the net right now. We've seen that like 2 or 3 times now from Ari.
And so Ambrose going to use his last timeout. We'll take it with him as well. 11-point lead for NJCU in the first set of the CUNYAC Championship.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiate.
Can't hear you.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards.
Okay.
Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a Green College, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when
Back here at Hunter, NJCU with an 11-point edge over Baruch here at Hunter. And Mike, really a dominating first set by the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, Baruch is just kind of beating themselves right now. There's too many attack errors, a couple of sets that have gone way too tight to the net, and NJCU's blockers are just really taking advantage.
Hardesty curls it out. The second time Ambro calls a timeout, then gets the side out.
That's what they call a coach's point, John.
So to bring the freshman from Harlem, Ismail Sanogo. Serve it up. Casillas. And put down the other way. Solomon Brown, an interesting story for Brown. He was a walk-on and came into the gym, but Carlo Edra took him on and said, you know what, you're 6'6", let's see what you can do, and he does exactly that.
Yeah, finding a hole in the Baruch block there. What a story he's been.
That'll sail out. And Baruch needs all the points that they can get. Tough sledding, but they'll go to one of their consistent servers, in Arjun Osmanai.
Had a couple of nice long runs last night at Hunter. Let's see what he's got here.
Casillas. Nice little touch. Amaru Perales hanging in the air and dropping it in the bucket.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you got to do. 6'7" middle, you expect him to bounce it in front of the 10-foot line, but sometimes all you got to do is find holes in the floor.
Eric Bakwalima. Will sail out.
Really nice dig there from Anthony Matute, the Gothic Knights libero. Doesn't get rewarded for it, though. 198 digs on the season for Matute, second in the conference only to Logan Ramos of John Jay.
Ramos in the building, the 2026 Libero of the Year, ending his 5-year career with the John Jay Bloodhounds. Nierenstein goes towards the back line, off the tip, and the point for the Bearcats.
Yeah, they just got to get the outsides going. They've started to get Gavrov to find his groove, and now Nierenstein, the big lefty, just got to start putting some balls away.
Gavrov. Tipped up front. Osmanai. Far side, Nierenstein. That'll float out. And NJCU 2 points away from taking the opening set.
Yeah, Baruch is starting to get some good touches now. They just got to make something of them. As it's Matt Peralta.
Peralta steps into it. Osmanai met at the net with Perales. And set point for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, you got to be smarter on that. You got to go up with two hands. When you go up with one, you're at risk of throwing your whole body into the net, and that's kind of what we just saw from Osmanai. And that gives NJCU.
Perales, that's out. Or Peralta, excuse me, pushes it out.
So they'll ask Caleb Leewen for a miracle right now, trailing by 10.
And not a situation, Mike, where you want to build momentum for the second set. You want to still take the first one. Wen taps it over. Casillas, the setup. Hardesty. Bounced around. Baruch staying in it.
Such a good blocker up there, Ari Osmanai. He was fantastic when he was a middle. And a setter of his size, he can send balls to the floor.
Wen, jump serve. Matute steps in front, and it's put down Casillas. And NJCU dominates the opening set, 25-15 over Baruch. Let's head to the second set. This is the 2026 CUNYAC Men's Volleyball Final.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Set for NJCU as they knock off Baruch here at the Hunter Sportsplex. There were some honors that were given out this year, and let's meet the all-conference teams as we start with the individual award winners for the CUNY Athletic Conference in 2026, and no surprise there, Ahmed Mohammed. Ben Nierenstein was fantastic, Logan Ramos, and Carlo Edra. I really can't imagine there's an argument here, Mike.
Yeah, no argument for Mohammed. He was just fantastic, both offensively, defensively, and from the service line. Second year in a row, he's going to lead Division III in aces per set. Ben Nierenstein, fantastic all season. They really found a good one in him. Logan Ramos, first year as a libero. He was an outside his first 4 years. Coming back from an ACL tear this season, and he really held it down defensively for the Bloodhounds. And Carlo Edra, he's a man on a mission.
Let's look at the first conference. First team all-conference, and of course, no surprise, a smattering of Gothic Knights. Peter Gavrov's there, and obviously a pair of Bloodhounds to go with the player of the year, Ahmed Mohammed. And then on the other side, on the second team all-conference, Sebastian Gomez, I think, didn't get enough praise this year. He was fantastic for the Hawks, and Aaron Sue, a big swinger for Brooklyn.
Absolutely. You talk about Gomez. When he was at York last year, led the entire conference in kills. He was a fantastic pickup for the Hawks this year. Aaron Sue doing his thing on the outside, as he has been since his freshman year. He'll be a senior next year. Brooklyn's really got himself a good one.
So you saw 25-15. The lead for NJCU as they knock off Baruch in the opening set. And Alex Casillas on the reset. Tipped and out. And a 1-0 lead for the Bearcats.
That's exactly how you want to start. You don't want to be afraid to use the hands if you're the Baruch attackers, just because of how dominant the NJCU block has been all year. And Nierenstein gets a nice tool there.
Then pushed out. And so a 1-1 match, or 1-1 second set. And now flipped over. And it'll be Marcus Pardesi. What'd you see out of Pardesi in the first set?
You know, the offense has just been so well-rounded for the Gothic Knights that Pardesi hasn't really had to do too much. Alex Casillas, he's finding everybody. Everybody's eating for NJCU right now. Pardesi had some really nice service runs in that first set. I'll definitely give him that. but he hasn't had to do so much. He did have a fantastic night last night, 21 kills against John Jay.
Little push and a point for Peter Gavroff.
Gavroff just able to stay behind the 10-foot line there.
Gavroff only 2 points in the opening set. Baruch, very uncharacteristic, hitting in the negatives, minus 321, and NJCU at 217. That's 16 errors for Baruch, and only 3 for the Gothic Knights.
That'll certainly help. Ben Nierenstein picking up an ace. He had 2 of those last night.
In fact, that's the first ace either side. Not surprising to see that the Gothic Knights haven't had any aces. They're pretty consistent at the line. Don't commit a lot of errors either for Baruch. It's been all or nothing for them.
Yeah, Baruch has really tightened up on serve receive down the stretch. It's showing early on. They just got to execute on offense now. And they're going to get Sonogo for a blocking error here.
Sonogo knew it right away. And so each team splitting the first 3 points. Victor D'Souza, the server. Gavroff knocks it through. They really have to get Gavroff going. That's his 4th kill of the night. But somebody who averages that just in 1 set. And so really limited in the opening set of play.
Yeah, that kill by Gavroff, by the way, makes him the only Baruch player hitting in the positive right now. Everybody else is in the black.
Give the point to the Gothic Knights. And Solomon Brown.
There's not enough penetration on the block there from O'Connor and Gavroff. Solomon Brown will surely take it, and he comes out for Eric Bakulima.
Bakulima with a dig in the opening set. 110, you're at the service line. Osmanai got all of that one. Archin puts it down.
And he's fired up. Wasn't very relied on last night. It was mainly Gavroff and Nierenstein carrying the offense, but his performance against Lehman in the quarterfinal was something special. 12 kills in just 2 sets, hitting 688. So Lightning had no answer for him.
O'Connor trying it, and NJCU keeps it alive. Good no look, Ari Osmanai. And so Baruch fighting back and expanding their lead.
It just looks like dig after dig for NJCU. It was about time that Ari pulled out that move.
That one came in quick on Yao. Perales with a little flex.
Yeah, 6'7" Perales. He just went over the top of a triple block. You talk about being hard to stop. When you can do that, swing away all you want. Probably one that Zach Yao should have had, though.
Push to the back line, Peralta to Bakulima. Up front, Pardesi off the net. Casillas. Now Baruch will get set. Gavroff into the net.
Well, how about the dig earlier in that rally by Matt Peralta in position 6? Just absolutely selling out and diving, like penguin diving near the stands. And NJCU gets rewarded for it, and now we're tied.
Peralta very athletic, someone who takes long strides, can track down a ball. Good server as well, but a little too much mustard, and right on cue, flips it over to Baruch. As the Bearcats go in front 7-6, and it will be number 7, Peter Gavroff, to serve.
Yeah, Gavroff was guilty of a lot of service errors last night. Definitely wants to limit those today. Offensively, though, outstanding. 14 kills, 462 for number 7.
Nierenstein's denied by Casillas and Perales, and doesn't get over.
Yeah, it looked like Ari saw the big block of Perales in front of him and tried to do a little roll shot over the net, just not enough mustard on it.
Perales serving it up. Yao on a dive. Nierenstein has to float it over. Casillas. Beautiful setup and the pretty finish. Victor D'Souza puts it through for his third kill of the match.
And how about Amaru Perales? He's serving right now. He passed that ball from about 6 inches off the net. It probably threw off the Baruch blockers thinking that he was front row. And then in comes Victor D'Souza. He hammers home the 2-ball.
Perales again, that's out. Trying to tuck it in that back right corner.
And the service error is starting to pile up now for the Gothic Knights. That's their 8th. They've had one too many of those in this set. Baruch's just got to take advantage now.
Baruch shaking off the rust of a tough first set. Casillas with a pancake. Osmanai, Sonogo, not there.
Yeah, it looked like Ari went for the dump. Just didn't have the fully extended arm, and it lands in the net.
Lambro will go to his bench. Brennan O'Connor comes on, and Casillas to the service line. Carlo Edger called him the goofball of the team, Alex Casillas. But one of the senior leaders that, well, really knows how to break the tension but keep the guys on track.
Absolutely.
Just out, and the Gothic Knights up 2.
He's been running the offense ever since Leo Ferrari graduated. He was a freshman during his senior year. Outstanding setter he was for the Gothic Knights.
Arjun Osmanai, bullseye.
Just as effective on the D-ball as he is in the front row. And he finds floor. 3 kills for him. He's now in the positive.
First touch from Matute. Last touch from D'Souza.
Yeah, Alex Casillas, he's in the back row. That ball was about to go over the plane of the net. Able to bring it back and set up D'Souza.
Marcus Pardesi. Blocked and out. And so Baruch keeping pace. How has Baruch been able to flip the switch in the second set?
I think they've started to limit the errors. I mean, looking at the live stats, I still see 5, but they did have 15 in the first set. That's just unacceptable for a team of their caliber. Throw in a couple of service errors and blocking errors as well. And how many points did NJCU really earn in that first set?
Carlo Edra said that he was familiar with the CUNY Athletic Conference, and obviously being in the skyline, close proximity, he would always try and reach out to Hunter and Baruch. So he's known these two programs for a while. Obviously, Ambro in his first year, Sean Salomons over at Hunter in his first year, but he said they've always been one of the top teams in the region, whether it was Hunter or Baruch. He's been at the helm now 2 separate times, Edra. So not really a surprise, but he knew that it would be a 3-horse race. And he said it could have been any one of the 3 teams that finish at the top. And fortunately for his team, regular season champions.
Absolutely, and maybe throw John Jay in there as well, honestly. They beat Hunter for the first time this season. And they gave NJCU an early scare yesterday, taking that marathon of a first set in the semis. They've got a nice young core for Jonathan Vasquez and his Bloodhound squad. And there goes Pardesi.
going to be interesting to see what the conference looks like, as there's Edra, all-time winningest coach in NJCU history. But the conference announcing that another school has entered the fold, St. Elizabeth. And speaking to Dr. Kirkpatrick, the commissioner for the CUNY Athletic Conference, he's very excited about that, says there's still work to be done and trying to get more spring sports involved. But he said that he's enjoyed having NJCU here, and even though it's a one-and-done situation, I think NJCU has been a fine representation of a program.
Absolutely. It's definitely shaken up the conference this season. We're used to the Baruch-Hunter matchup in the final, and NJCU has just thrown a wrench into their plans, notably Hunter, because they're on the outside looking in of this CUNYAC final.
Baruch winners of the last 5 CUNYAC championships. If they were to win tonight, it would be their 16th in program history, falling one shy of Hunter.
And it would also put them one shy of the squad from 2009 to 15 that won 7 in a row. So if they were able to get it done tonight, next year there will be some pressure on there to try and match what they did under coaches like Daniel Levent and Allison Stack.
And so a timeout taken by Baruch. Let's take it with them as well. Gothic Knights lead by 2 in the second set.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
Swung the other way. Matute starts it. Nice dive from Yao, but not going to be enough. And so a crucial point at the midway mark of the second set, and every point that much more important from here on out, Mike.
Yes, for sure. Now down by 3. You've been going point for point with them pretty much all set. Don't want to fall behind by too many, especially in the second half of the set.
Gavrov trying to change it up, but that goes right into the teeth of Perales.
Yeah, the set just a little bit too far inside. Didn't really give the NJCU blockers an opportunity to drift on it. And that's a well-formed block by Perales and Casillas.
17-13 Gothic Knights. Osmanite setting up O'Connor. Peralta settles. Pardesi, that's out after the tip. And the Gothic Knights with their largest lead in the second set.
Yeah, if you're gonna triple block, you gotta make sure you don't get tooled. You gotta go up with strong hands. They did a good job closing it, but you just gotta have strong hands on the net and pressing over. Especially on those out-of-system balls, you got a lot more time to get to them. Back when I played, any time there was an out-of-system ball, we would throw up 3 blocks.
Peralta, that's out. And so an opportunity for Baruch to keep pace. And they'll get it to one of their harder servers, Peter Gavrov.
Yeah, they definitely needed any sort of break they can get. They didn't want to fall down by 5. Trying to chip away here.
It's only been 1 ace so far in the match. That goes to the Bearcats. Just out of the reach of Yao and down. And NJCU with a quick side out.
Yeah, somebody's got to pick that up. That ball was in the air for way too long. Baruch was picking those up yesterday against Hunter. Just haven't had the same luck defensively in this final so far.
It's Perales. NJCU keeping it alive. That's Arjun Osmanai. And Baruch on the extended rally gets the point.
And there goes Peter taking flight, as he always does.
Coming into the season, Ambrew knew that Gavrov would be a leader, someone who leads by example, but is just so hungry and trying to go out on top as a senior and win all 4 years at Baruch. Went on a dive. Right down the middle, there's Gavrov. Long pass. Gothic Knights have to get it over. Nierenstein off the tip and out. Baruch within 3.
Caleb Leewen has been fantastic back there when he goes back to serve for O'Connor. He's gotten some really nice digs. Didn't get rewarded for the first one, but now he does. Trying to chip away at this Gothic Knights lead.
Pushed over. What a block. D'Souza skying for the rejection.
Yeah, that ball just not pushed far enough to the pin. And D'Souza just waiting for it.
This has been an inspired effort by the Gothic Knights, hitting .368 in the second set, .286 overall, and Baruch still in the negatives at -130.
And they've got a ways to go. They've got 8 more errors than they have kills. Make it 9.
That'll go out. NJCU 4 points away from going up 2-love.
This is not the time for errors. Got to be able to find the court.
Casillas kisses the net. Sonogo. Tipped up front and out. And Baruch gets the side out. And Ari Osmanai back to the line.
Yeah, they haven't run the middle too much today. That's just the second kill out of the middle for Baruch. Sonogo's got both. Brendan O'Connor still waiting to get on the board.
Tipped up to Souza, powers it down. 5th kill of the match for D'Souza.
You watch his vertical, and it's just a thing of beauty. It's like watching him try to jump over the net. That's how high up he gets.
Pardesi with the jump serve. Other side, Nierenstein. Matut Peralta. Ari Osmanai off to Yao. Set up to Souza into the nylon. Perhaps a tad too early for D'Souza.
Yeah, for sure. He got a quick set. There was one thing on his mind. It was just to put that ball into the earth. Just snapped the wrist a little too early.
Instead, he put it into the net. Baruch down by 4. Oh! Solomon Brown got all of that one. So powerful.
We mentioned how much he's improved. It's gotten to the point where you just cannot leave him one-on-one. Gavrov, a great blocker, but 6'6" frame. He's going to take as much space as he can if he only gets one block up on him.
D'Souza powers it over. Coming long way. Pass back. Gavrov, that's out. Set point, Gothic Knights.
Yeah, the offense snake bitten in the first set. Started to find its footing early in the second, but now they've gone cold again, and that's now 25 attack errors on the match.
Let's take a quick timeout.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
Yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a Green College, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
Carlo Edra and his team 1 point away from going up 2-love here in the CUNYAC final. He's Mike Higgins. I'm John Perez. We know what NJCU can do. Quickly, how does Baruch keep themselves alive?
I mean, I've been saying it all game. They just got to limit the errors. The offense has gone cold once again. Right now, as it stands, Baruch has more attack errors than NJCU has kills. NJCU just 19 kills in this game. That's less than a set.
Mikey Hart to serve it up. The senior from St. John's Prep in Queens. Tapped out, and so Baruch stays alive.
Arjen keeping the Bearcats alive. And now they'll ask for Ishmael Sanogo to give them 5 straight. No libero on the floor right now for the Bearcats. Let's see if NJCU takes advantage of Sanogo back there.
They do. NJCU goes up 2-0 as they take the second set, 25-19. Let's head to the third set in the CUNYAC Championship.
On the historic. Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a Green College, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Things aren't scripted.
We were talking about NJCU being an affiliate member. Well, there's been some other news around the CUNY Athletic Conference as well, and these are just some schools that were announced. But the look ahead for the CUNY Athletic Conference, Mike, obviously the charter members, but the addition of Pratt as well as St. Elizabeth. And I know that the conference is currently searching for more, obviously looking for more spring sport participation as well. But a great start around the New York metropolitan area.
Yeah, you mentioned the spring sports, in particular baseball, because the CUNYAC doesn't have an automatic bid for baseball. So adding some more teams will get them the opportunity to have that. As for Pratt, former Baruch head coach Alex Moll, he's the bench boss there right now. He coached me my senior year. Got Baruch its 3rd straight championship at the time. Coaching the men and women over there. St. Elizabeth also in the United East like Pratt. Both teams missed the United East playoffs, as it's really just Lancaster Bible running away with that conference this year. That championship will be tomorrow, by the way.
All right, so we're looking into the huddle. NJCU clicking on all cylinders. How do they close out Baruch in the third set?
Well, right now, they're not feeling any sort of pressure. Like, Baruch is just beating themselves right now. Like I said, 25 attack errors by the Bearcats, 20 kills for the Gothic Knights. Baruch just needs to clean it up offensively, and Brady Ambrose trusting his guys. He is not going to the bench. They're sticking with Sinogo. Ben Nierenstein, it's been a tough night for him so far. 8 attack errors. Gavroff also with 7.
Is there someone outside of those big three that you want to see step up for the Bearcats?
I definitely think they can get the middles more involved. They've tried to go to Brennan O'Connor a little bit. He has been victimized by some really nice digs by Anthony Matute. But you give him an opportunity, and he'll put the ball away. He can really get up there. So can Sinogo.
So Baruch to serve it off to start the third set here in the CUNYAC final. Baruch for the match at negative 133. Gothic Knights at 292. They hit 360 in that second set. The Bearcats are just 0-31 in set number 2. Ari Osmanai, 1.5 points, 14 assists so far, leading the way for the Bearcats. A swing from Pardesi. And there you go, right in the middle for Baruch. Making their presence felt, but it goes out.
Yeah, just got to turn the hands inside the court a little bit more. If you have your hands facing the sideline, you're bound to get tooled. As a former middle myself, I've learned that the hard way plenty of times.
That's right down Broadway. Or down Lexington Avenue. Arjen Osmanai gets it to go. I'm always jealous of the courage that middles have, especially with big swingers coming in. You guys play fearless. I'm surprised that there hasn't been some denture displacement or anything like that.
Yeah, just so much lateral movement is involved as a middle. You've really got to have good peripherals. And these guys are young. Sinogo and O'Connor, they're both freshmen. They still got plenty of time.
Ben Nierenstein gets the ace. Only the second ace of the match for Baruch. But they take a 2-1 lead in the third set.
And that's really the only department that Baruch is up on the Gothic Knights with. Just those 2 aces. They haven't allowed an ace all game.
And just like that, an error into the nylon. And so a rookie mistake from the best rookie in the conference.
Yeah, it really hasn't been the service errors today that's been hindering the Bearcats. It's just been the offense, really, which is really surprising given how dominant they've been during the past few games.
That's down. Pardesi gets the ace. The first of the match for the Gothic Knights.
I mean, if it clips the end line, there's really just nothing you can do about it there. That's just the perfect serve.
Set up. Sinogo powers it through.
And look at him getting fired up.
And Baruch in that second set did a really good job of hanging around. Then you get into the 15, 16 point mark, and that's when NJCU was able to catapult themselves and take the set by 6. Casase to set up. A denial. Gavroff meeting at the summit, getting the block, and Baruch up 4-3.
And you wonder now if Baruch will start to put pressure on the Gothic Knights. They really don't feel any right now because they're up 2-0. They can afford to make some mistakes. Baruch, it's do or die now.
And so the side out after the error. Here's Victor D'Souza, very impressive in the second set. 5 kills, 4 block attempts, leading the way with 7 points. off the fingertips of Pardesi as Arjun Osmanai gets the kill.
Yeah, he's been the one consistent guy so far through these first 2 sets plus for the Bearcats. He's right now the only guy hitting in the positive. Or check that, Sonogo is as well now, but he's hitting .364.
Osmanai, it sails out.
Now is not the time for service errors. I thought maybe they got them all out of their system last night in the semifinal. Can't afford them now, especially down by 2 sets.
You know, Mike, it's not uncommon, as there's a block for NJCU, and that goes to Perales. My question to you is, you know, it's not uncommon to have tri-matches, play multiple games quickly, but in a playoff atmosphere, what are some of the difficulties that you face in only playing 24 hours earlier? Osmanai almost takes down the operation. Keeps everything alive, and JCU gets the point as Perales flexes on him.
Sorry, to answer your question before my life flashed before my eyes there. It really has to do with the Wednesday practice beforehand, because you're preparing for not one team but 2 teams, or in certain cases 3 teams, because you don't know who you're going to face in the final most of the time. But with it consistently being Baruch and Hunter in years past, there hasn't really been much preparation for the team that the other team plays in the semifinal.
And you know, with the feistiness of John Jay, obviously NJCU was the favorite going into that game, but that just adds another wrinkle too. They have to prepare, like you said, for the 3 teams. There's the ace for Gavroff. We're tied at 7.
Brady Ambrose always motivating his guys to serve tough. They're doing it right now. They've gotten some errors. They just got to find the court.
Gavroff puts it into the net. Is there anything technical you're seeing on these service errors that Baruch has to clean up?
Well, in the case of Gavroff, he always tosses it a mile high. He's able to generate all his power that way. It really all depends on point of contact. If you contact it below, let's say, your ear level, that's usually going to go into the net.
O'Connor, a little change up there, getting the point for the Bearcats.
And that's the first kill of the day for Brendan O'Connor.
Yeah, O'Connor, who usually averages 1.5 per set. And here's Caleb Lee Wen back to the service line.
O'Connor more than capable, only a freshman, but he hit .348 this season.
Sayas, knocked through. Boy, Perales playing on another level tonight.
The offense has just been so well balanced for NJCU between Pardesi, Perales, Brown, D'Souza. Everybody picking each other up for the guys in white and green.
Osmanai off the fingertips and out. That one got through the wickets of Perales. 9 apiece.
Yeah, Arjen, he's playing like a man on a mission right now. He's like, there's no way we're losing this set. I will not get swept in my final CUNYAC matchup.
So many seniors on both sides, and NJCU, practically everybody's a senior. This will be the last CUNYAC game for NJCU before the school merges to Kane University.
And I'm interested to see where the road takes the non-seniors for NJCU. Guys like Pardesi and Brown, they still got another year of eligibility left. I thought I saw a touch on that swing. Let's see what the call is.
And so a point for the Gothic Knights as Russell Rodriguez making the call in the high chair.
Brady Amber getting the explanation from Paul DeCurtis.
Is there anything you saw there?
You know, when there's no spin on that ball, it's really a tough call to make as an official, whether it was touched or not.
Little touch, Brown on his back foot. Desace to Brown. That one came in faster on Osmanai. And so the Gothic Knights go up 3.
Yeah, right around chest level, it's like the last place you want to receive a ball. That's what we call no man's land in volleyball, where it's, should I take it with my platform, should I take it with my hands?
Gavrov to push, Brown. Desace to Brown, slapped over. Set up Nierenstein into the campfire.
Yeah, they got to get him going again. He's been pretty cold in this game with 8 attack errors. But he's been heavily relied on all season as a freshman. Why stop now? It's a good serve by the big lefty.
Yeah, want to dive. Osmanai cross court. Offhand by Gavrov, falls out.
Yeah, the trajectory of that set was going towards out of bounds on the other side, and Gavrov doing his best to keep it in play, just out of his reach.
And so a timeout taken by Baruch. Let's take it with him as well. 3-point lead for the Gothic Knights.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
Friday night in New York City, but it's the team from the Garden State. Leading by 3 in the third set. Up 2-0. He's Mike Higgins, I'm John Perez, and back to the service line is Marcus Pardesi out of Paramus, went to Crestkill High School. First team All-Skyline last year, first team All-Conference CUNYAC this year. A junior, like we mentioned, will have eligibility when the doors close at NJCU, and it'll be interesting to see. And I'd have to imagine a bunch of local schools will be calling his name too in the transfer portal. That'll go out. And the Gothic Knights up 4.
Well, there's a guy whose name we haven't really said much tonight, Matt Peralta. That's his first kill of the game. He's only been set 6 times prior. He's a big part of this offense.
Hitting in the negatives at -333 as well. That's off the ceiling. Yao has to push it over.
Great effort with the pancake.
Yao, long way to run, can't get there. And NJCU up 5.
Yeah, they want to get hands on every ball. If you're a middle, it's probably not your ball. When you're facing backwards, that's usually the guy in the back row's ball.
Gavrov with some momentum. And the side out. And Peter Gavrov getting the side out. That's a 6th kill of the match.
Hasn't been his best night. He was outstanding last night against Hunter. 642 he hit with 14 kills. Hasn't had his best stuff today.
Little reaction from Osmanai, goes out.
Yeah, he tried to go with the grass volleyball dig there. That's another one that caught him like near the chest area.
And it's Victor D'Souza. 7 points tonight. Far side Gavrov. And JCU on the reverse. Knocked through. Matt Peralta, like you said, didn't mention him earlier, but making his presence felt in the third.
And how about the fake attack set from Pardesi in the back row? Faked it like he was going to swing on two, and he finds his fellow outside hitter for a beautiful assist.
That's going to sail out. And so Baruch gets the point back.
Yeah,
if there's any time for Baruch to go on a run, it's now. How do they do it, Mike?
Well, you do it with the guy that's been the most consistent for you tonight. Arjun Osmanai. Only guy hitting in the positive on the pins. He's been heavily relied on. He's one of the most consistent servers, but NJCU is going to side out right away.
The no look from Perales. Say about a 50-50 split, but the Gothic Knight fans have made their presence felt. Coming through the tunnel, over the bridge, whatever means necessary. And now Eric Bakulima to serve. Yao off the ceiling and down. It's been that night for Baruch.
Yeah, they haven't really had much trouble on serve receive today. It's mainly been offensively. And now Baruch's going to go into the bench. Valentin Rodriguez, sophomore setter. He replaces Ari Osmanai with NJCU 6 points away from a title.
And kind of throwing Rodriguez into the fire, the sophomore from East Elmhurst, someone who didn't play in the semifinal against Hunter. What does he bring to the table for the Bearcats?
Well,
what's Ambro trying to get out of him?
He's definitely more than capable. We saw him in a non-conference matchup with Hunter early in the regular season where he had 53 assists. He was just fantastic. And that came at a time where Arjun Osmanai was injured and they had Ari on the right side, throwing Val into action. Very capable. And it's his job to lose next season with Ari Osmanai set to graduate in June.
So Caleb Lee Wen back to the service line. With Baruch trailing by 6. First touch from Matute. Long way to run for Rodriguez. Same thing with Osmanai. Casase the setup. Pardesi. Gavrov from a seated position, and Osmanai floats it over. Extended rally. Kept up. Rodriguez keeps it alive. Osmanai gets it over.
Nice get from Val there.
Casase tried the no look. Perales denied by Sonogo. Pardesi. Nierenstein. That's in. What a rally.
I mentioned earlier in the match, you win those long rallies, it often generates momentum. We'll see if Baruch has a last-second push to try and salvage this third set.
Caleb Lee Wen, his team trailing by 5. Casase the setup. Here's Perales, little touch, denied. Nierenstein with another point.
How about the two freshmen, Sonogo and Nierenstein, combining for the rejection. And NJCU, very aggressive on offense all game long. 2 points in a row right into the block.
That's going to go to the Bearcats on the palm. You're Carlo Edra. You think about a timeout, and he's going to take it as well. Timeout, NJCU. Let's take it with him.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team custom tailor your treatment.
Was in my way. What happened?
Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York, home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a Green College, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
NJCU calls a timeout, and what was the message from Carlo Edra?
Just to settle in. This is the first time we've seen the Gothic Knights be shaky all game. They just got to finish the job here and get themselves a championship. And that's a tough break. A net touch on an incredible dig.
That puts the Gothic Knights up by 4. And Brennan O'Connor to the service line. Good job by Wen on that run to keep Baruch alive, but still a 4-point edge for Amaru Perales and the Gothic Knights. Right down the middle, Gavrov with authority.
That's what we've been waiting for from him. You put that ball about 5 feet in front of the 10-foot line, it's almost like he's hitting in the front row. He goes a long way on those Bics.
First service for Rodriguez, and that goes off of Valentine.
NJCU can taste it now.
Be sure to stay with us for the presentation of the trophy ceremony, and we'll speak to our player of the game as well. Floated over. Yale the first touch. Nierenstein. Baruch not going down without a fight. The 5-time defending CUNYAC champions push to the canvas.
And they're kind of going point for point right now, but this isn't the time to go point for point. It's do or die right now. You still trail by 3.
Nierenstein. A little float. Pancake from Baruch. Rodriguez gets it over. Casase. Push back Pardesi. Gavrov into the net. NJCU 2 points away. And so Brady Ambrose is going to call a timeout, talk it over with his team. And so let's keep it here as we look into the Gothic Knights huddle. What's the message here for Carlo Edra to get those final 2 points?
Well, the offense has looked a little bit shaky over the past couple of points. And the message here from Carlo Edra has to be just finish the job. You know what you're here for. It's to bring a championship to Jersey City before athletics are absorbed by another university. And they're just 2 points away from that storybook ending that they've dreamed of from the moment that they heard that news.
On the other side for the Bearcats, backs against the wall, just have to win a set.
Absolutely.
Brady Ambrose, like you mentioned, it's been a decade since he's hoisted a CUNYAC championship. He's got his work cut out for them. But this would mean so much for all the student athletes, for NJCU, to go out on top. And look at the senior Alex Casillas, a junior Marcus Pardesi to serve it up.
Need a side out here if you're Baruch.
Almost grazes the ceiling. Gavrov knocks it down. Scintillating shot into Pardesi. And there's your side out that Baruch was looking for.
Just what they needed. Now you've got Sonogo going back to the line.
And a yellow card issued against NJCU, Solomon Brown. I guess he must have said the magic word or something.
Let's see if the freshman can give Baruch a run here.
Brown tipped. Rodriguez ranging over. Osmanai the offhand, off the tape. Brown again. O'Connor's calling for it. And drops the hammer.
How about the effort by Arjen Osmanai to stay out of the net to keep the play alive? He went down to a squat to make sure his body didn't hit the net and keep the play alive. And that's a big one for the Bearcats as they try to pull within one.
Little touch. O'Connor keeps it alive. Rodriguez the setup to Osmanai. But here's Brown using two hands over to Sonogo. Gavrov. Casase. The setup. Peralta. Tipped. Nierenstein on the back row keeps it alive. Extended rally. And pushed out. Baruch within one.
How about this? Another long rally. We talk about how those can generate momentum. Now is the time for it if you're the Bearcats. Just got to put this serve in here if you're Sonogo.
Timeout, NJCU. Let's take it with them as well.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
Yourself doing remarkable things on the...
After the break, NJCU with a 1-point lead, and Baruch throwing some haymakers and throwing everything in the kitchen sink to keep their season alive against NJCU. What's been working so well for the Bearcats?
Yeah, I think they've started to put the pressure on the Gothic Knights now. They're starting to click offensively. They're finally not hitting negative anymore. And now they're 1 point away from tying it. Just got to keep the pressure on, get a nice float serve from your middle here, and let the blockers do the rest.
Baruch hitting .375 in the third set. NJCU with 400. Sonogo tees it up. Off the net, tapped up, Casase. Rodriguez. Nierenstein, that's in! And we're tied at 23.
And the Bearcat faithful has gone haywire here at the Sportsplex.
That's a crucial point because now you have to win by 2.
Chance to take the lead here.
Sonogo, soft serve. Casase, powered down. And the two officials looking at each other. Let's see if they talk it over. And now it's Baruch's point.
They are going to overturn it. Casais in the back row. He went up for the joust with Gavrov. And that's a back row attack. And now Baruch, with a furious comeback, has a chance to salvage this third set and keep their season alive.
And it'll be Ishmael Sonogo. Tees it up. Set point Bearcats. Casase. Brown. Back the other way. A block. Casase. Another opportunity to Brown. Denied. We're going to 4. The Bearcats storm back and pick up the third set, 25-23.
Looks like they called a lift after the block. And Baruch will surely take it. And how about the freshman, Ishmael Sonogo? A furious comeback led by the freshman out of Legacy Volleyball Club. No libero on the floor. And you can't ask for much more.
Great comeback by Baruch. And it's been a great match so far. Let's go to the fourth here and the championship.
At Brooklyn College.
Wow.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do. Whether you'll study business or psychology, win a Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Start of the fourth set. NJCU still leads 2-1, but a huge pendulum swing. And how does NJCU get back on the right foot?
Well, Baruch's got all the momentum right now, but you still have the lead, and Carlo Edra is definitely reiterating that to his team right now. They've got a job to do. They just got to put on the show that they did in those first two sets and early in the third set before Baruch started to crawl back.
How was Baruch able to get NJCU out of system?
Good serves by Sonogo at the end. 6 in a row. They were trailing 23-19. And the freshman Sonogo, who doesn't even start normally, he's in for Aaron Clark, who's injured, giving Baruch a miracle service run. Baruch also making a change at setter with Val Rodriguez. And he's been finding his hitters pretty well.
You had mentioned that Rodriguez is very capable of doing so. But Mike, you're someone who, was a starter, obviously was used to that, not used to being thrown into the fire. How difficult is that for Rodriguez just to get thrown into it, especially in a championship bout?
Yeah, you mentioned that, like down 2 sets and pretty much on life support at that point when Ari Osmanai came out of the game, and it really speaks to the leadership of this team. We mentioned Peter Gavroff and Arjen Osmanai being good leaders, making sure that no moment is too big for the young guys, and it showed down the stretch in that third set.
Well, there's Rodriguez wearing number 9, Gavroff with 8 points. Ben Nierenstein leading the way with 11.5 points for Baruch. Marcus Pardesi with 10 points. He's got a team high for the Gothic Knights. As Alex Casillas will set us up for the fourth set. Rodriguez. D'Souza with the denial off the catwalk, ranges around. Here's a setup. Pardesi. That's out.
You want momentum to swing back in your favor, that's the way to do it. Go to your best hitter.
And so 1-0 lead for NJCU. Sonogo. Lift, point, NJCU. They're up 2-0.
I think they're saying Val Rodriguez got the net on the swing or on the attack. Can't touch the net in volleyball.
Not even a little?
Not even a little.
Rodriguez, Sonogo, that's in. Got the inspired play of Ishmael Sonogo for the last 2 sets.
Yeah, this is a guy who didn't even play in the quarterfinal. And Baruch really emptied their bench in that one because they absolutely dismantled Lehman in that one. Just so poised from number 12.
That'll sell out. Deuce is wild. Baruch winning 6 straight sets to begin the postseason and then dropping the first 2 to NJCU. Like you said, on life support and able to find the light at the end of the tunnel to take the third set. A sail out.
NJCU a little bit out of sorts right now to start this fourth set. That's back-to-back attack errors. Kind of like what we saw at the end of that third set. Baruch forcing them to make the mistakes.
Val Rodriguez, the server. Daisy, the hitter, goes into the bleachers. Side out, and Gothic Knights get the point.
Yeah, there was just the slightest hole in that block there between Nierenstein and Sinogo. And Marcus Pardesi will take that all day.
Whistle before the hit. Point Gothic Knights.
They're saying Gavrov was over the 10-foot line. It's a back row attack.
Matute. Pardesi. Nierenstein. Here's Brown lifting it over. The setup, Nierenstein again, or excuse me, Osmanai. That'll curl out. 4-all.
Val Rodriguez with a really impressive dig. About in the middle of that rally. And he rewards his team for it. You mentioned him being thrown into the fire. He looks like he's been there before.
Casase over to D'Souza. Gavrov punched out by Matute. Baruch takes the lead.
There's that heavy arm swing from Gavrov. Not even the best defenders can handle that.
Nierenstein kisses the net. Brown. Little tic-tac-toe. Teams evenly splitting the first 10 points.
And Nierenstein just not able to get the angle on that dig. Ended up only hitting the side of his forearm. So Solomon Brown will surely take it.
Here's Victor D'Souza. Rodriguez the setup. Nierenstein denied. That was Peralta and took down 2 Bearcats in the process.
There's a lot of covering the hitter that's required in volleyball to have a successful defense. That's one where everybody's covering the block short. And then when it goes long, nobody's home for it. That's kind of what happened there. The blocks don't always have to go straight down.
They just have to stay in. D'Souza, jump serve, that's out. 13th service error for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, D'Souza looked like he changed up his serve a little bit. It looks like more of a hybrid now as opposed to the topspin we're used to seeing from him.
From under the net, the point for the Gothic Knights. Even it up at 6. Eric Bakwalima comes on and he'll go to the service line.
Well, they haven't gone to Perales as much as they have all season in this one. It's been a very well-balanced attack for NJCU in this one.
Another miscue for the Gothic Knights.
And that's one of those where you just get disappointed that it doesn't roll your way off the tape. So that's back-to-back service errors by the Gothic Knights now.
Ari Osmanai, hard serve. Matute first touch. That's punched out. And pendulum swinging for the Gothic Knights. So send Matt Peralta to the line.
Yeah, Nierenstein got hot at the end of that third set, excuse me. They want to keep him going as well as Gavrov. As of right now, they're still both in the negative. They both have 10 attack errors. So you just got to trust your hitters right now if you're Val Rodriguez.
Osmanai hits it out off the side official. And a 2-point edge for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, a rare error today from Arjen Osmanai. He's been the most consistent guy today for the Bearcats. Probably just looking for a touch there that he didn't get.
Peralta goes to the far side. Near side is Gavrov. Too much for Bakwalima.
And Bakwalima, he was right there. Just got to get a little more height on that. But when you got a guy like Gavrov swinging at you, you just hope for the best.
Matute from a knee starts it off. Pardesi. Nierenstein. Pardesi again. Gets the point.
Back and forth we go in this fourth set.
Not that you would expect any different. Obviously, these two meeting earlier in the year, and NJCU knocking off the Bearcats in 5 sets. Just down the road, Lexington Avenue on 23rd and Lex.
And that was just a phenomenal game. And I think Gavrov is guilty of a back row attack again. You mentioned that regular season matchup. Things got really chippy in that one. There were several yellow cards being handed out in that game.
1 yellow card tonight, Solomon Brown for the Gothic Knights. Perales to serve. Nierenstein drops the hammer.
And Nierenstein taking advantage of the middle and the back row. Perales still a good defender nonetheless, but he's no Anthony Matute when it comes to back row defense.
Matute's been fantastic. Sophomore libero, 2.7 digs per set. Caleb Lee Wen tees it up. Casase. Wen. Nierenstein. Peralta dives. Setting up Pardesi. Sonogo puts it in the nylon, and the Gothic Knights up 3.
Yeah, that's a tough ball for Sonogo where you just got to make a split-second decision. Do I pop it straight up or do I send it over? Just not high enough for him to send it over.
Here's Casase. Casase long run. Pardesi on the money.
Matt Peralta with a nice little swan dive to keep that ball in play. And Marcus Pardesi now up to 13 kills, and he's hitting 300.
NJCU leads by 4. We'll take a quick break.
Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a green college, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
The quality of our
Off the timeout, Bearcats trailing by 4, 13-9 in the fourth set, but a great comeback at the end of the third set. Mike Higgins, and some momentum carrying over, but NJCU able to get a little bit of a breathing room against the Bearcats.
Yeah, Baruch's trying to get that momentum back. We're still about a little bit before midway through the set. They still got some time. NJCU with a 4-point lead, but this is nothing compared to what we saw in the third, comeback-wise, for the Bearcats. We saw a couple of comebacks against Hunter last night from Baruch. They trailed by 5 in both the first and third set of that one.
Off the timeout. A rally. Pardesi knocked out. Gothic Knights up 5.
Yeah, Pardesi, he's the hot hand right now. That's 14 to lead all players. And if they can get a really nice burst from their number one option, good things are coming for NJCU.
Peralta on a dive and pushed over, but it's going to go out.
Great effort by Brown to run that down and give Peralta an opportunity to send that ball back to the Baruch side, but just a little too much.
Almost took out one of our own, Linda, over there.
Heads up over there, Linda.
Too easy for Pardesi.
Yeah, Baruch, no answers for Pardesi right now.
Pardesi leading the way with 16 points. He's got 6 digs and an ace. And he goes back to the service line. Puts it in the net.
Yeah, right now Baruch's just got to take advantage of him not being in the front row. Still very dangerous from the back row, Pardesi. But we haven't really seen guys like Brown or D'Souza contribute down the stretch recently.
Pardesi again.
I mean, like I said, you got to take advantage of him being in the back row, but looks like they're just going to keep feeding him. He is on a heater right now. And now Baruch's going to go into their bench.
Baruch trying to get a substitution on.
Lucas Maziarz in for defense.
I think NJCU is complaining it was a late sub, but Marziaz gets on. The freshman from Glendale and Queens. Didn't play in the semifinal yesterday, but Ambro hoping that Lightning can strike twice. He's done so with Rodriguez and now trying to do so with Marziaz. Pardesi gets it right back. Perales is set up to Peralta. Tip to the back line. Denied. A big stuff by Solomon Brown.
And he puts the sword in the sheath. One of the best celebrations we've seen all season. And NJCU is cooking now. Haven't seen a big block like that in a while.
And NJCU starting to feel it. But Baruch quickly has an answer for that.
Yeah, Arjen Osmanai, he has been Mr. Side Out today.
Here's Sunogo. Long serve. Matute. Pardesi comes back over. Casase. Baruch keeps it alive. Osmanai to Gavrov. Brown. It falls through. Flex on him, Solomon. Showing off the Gothic Knight muscle. They lead by 6.
He's going to come out for Bakalima, but honestly, keep him out there. He's earned his spot in this lineup. Hasn't played back row all year, but just fantastic how he's been able to develop for a guy that didn't really have any expectations when he walked onto the team.
Long way to run. The libero Yao has it. Gavrov spanks it over. Tipped out. NJCU starting to clamp down. They go up by 7. Give the kill to Perales.
I feel like Casillas has been setting him a little bit higher, but he gets up there. He can do a lot with the high hands, or maybe even just go over the block.
Gavrov, little touch. Matute.
Need a block here if you're the Bearcats.
Get a chance to set up their offense. Osmanai using 2 hands. Peralta, little touch. Rodriguez, Osmanai. And Baruch gets the side out.
He continues to deliver when Baruch needs it most. You saw Val Rodriguez go to him twice in a row. He's been the hot hand all game for the Bearcats. Why give up on him?
Arjun Osmanai. Rodriguez. Pushed into the net.
That's a rare miscue from Arjun today, and now NJCU once again 5 points away. This time a little bit more cushion.
Matt Peralta. Gavrov. Blocked but out.
A big-time tool from the captain as Nierenstein checks back in. Good job by Maziarz on defense back there.
Gavrov, high toss. That's out. 11th service error for the Bearcats, and NJCU within 4.
And the Baruch offense in the negative for this 4th set now. They were going point for point early with NJCU, but they've started to let them get away. And they've got to find something here before it's too late. That'll help.
Perales floats it out. That's been the demerit for NJCU today. 16 service errors.
Yeah, normally it's Baruch that gets aggressive from the service line. Only 11 errors from the service line today for the Bearcats. The issue has been offensively.
Long way to run. Baruch's going to get the point.
Caleb Lewen, such a great serving sub all season for Baruch. Perhaps a libero role in his future once Zach Yao is finished up.
Well, he's got the tools, only a sophomore. Ambro loves his athleticism, loves him at the service line. Punch down! Victor D'Souza. And so big Solomon Brown comes back on for the Gothic Knights, as they're trying to close it out, needing 3 points away from the CUNYAC championship.
And Kasai is doing a great job finding his middles.
Gavrov, big time hit.
That almost ended up on the hawk walk upstairs.
Yeah.
You better believe Peter Gavrov's going to give it everything he has to try and send this to the 5th.
Val Rodriguez. Pardesi, a tip from Sonogo, that's down, 23-17.
And Pardesi just continues his mammoth 4th set as Brady Ambro calls a timeout, hoping it's not his last.
And so Ambro's going to call a timeout. We'll keep it here as you look into the NJCU huddle. And Mike, I can't imagine what these young men are going through, and even all the student athletes at NJCU. You commit to a school, you like the facilities, you like the people around. That's what got you there. And if NJCU wins tonight, their season's not over, but that's it. Now they're released from the conference, and now the NCAA goes. But how about the job of Carlo Edra and the coaching staff building up the culture? These guys, after getting the news, opted to stay in. They could have transferred, they could have left campus, but they have the belief and trying to bring one last championship back to NJCU.
Yeah, Carlo Edra reiterated to us that this is the tightest group of guys he's ever had chemistry-wise, and he's been the coach for 11 years over 2 different stints. It really says a lot because you're playing for so much more right now than just a championship. You're playing to make a statement that we should still be here.
Edra's saying all week he's been getting texts from different coaches and different folks around NJCU, some alums, saying, you're our last chance to capture a championship. Go out and do it. Well, his team is 2 points away. Marcus Pardesi the serve. Sanogo, nifty move. That keeps Baruch in it. Lead down to 5.
And Carlo Edra asking for a carry. But if you watched Sanogo's hand, he didn't do the carry motion until before he contacted the ball. That's why that was legal. Russell Rodriguez right on it.
23-18. NJCU. Into the net. Championship point for the Gothic Knights.
This is what you've worked for. Gothic Knights are going to bring in Mikey Hart, the senior, to potentially end this match.
In a year that NJCU has run roughshod through the CUNY Athletic Conference, it's in the hands of Mikey Hart. The serve. Gavroff, tipped up by Pardesi. Peralta, slapped. Point, Baruch.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted a block touch there. I thought there was one, but they blew the play dead, 4 contacts. And now they're going to ask for the towel here. You wonder if this is strategic to try and throw up Sanogo. Maybe an ice the server tactic.
We got to try it, right? You're out of timeouts.
Yep.
Or check that, not wanting to use a timeout.
One side out away from history.
And so here's Ishmael Sanogo to tee it up. Sanogo flats it over. That's it. It's over. NJCU, the 2026 CUNYAC Men's Volleyball Champions.
Well, the dream final season ends just how everyone in that locker room envisioned it. You've got the constant reminder that men's volleyball is pretty much the only hope left to bring a championship to NJCU, and Carlo Edra and his brotherhood, as he calls it, never let the pressure get to them, and they answered the call tonight. It's been so fun as a fan of the sport to watch these guys go out there and play their hearts out, knowing that they were playing for something so much bigger than a championship. And now one thing's for certain. Whenever the journey comes to an end for the Gothic Knights, it'll be in the NCAA tournament.
And that's exactly how they scripted it. So congratulations to NJCU, their first and only CUNYAC championship. They knock off the 5-time defending conference champions as they were led by Marcus Pardesi's 18 points. Amaru Perales was fantastic, 11.5 points, 9.5 points for Solomon Brown. But you know what? Those 9.5 points felt like 20.5 points at times in the game.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, it just wasn't Baruch's night tonight, especially with those first 2 sets. They were very error-heavy. They went point for point down the stretch in the 4th set. They just let it get away from them. And the 5-year run comes to an end for the Bearcats.
So NJCU celebrating, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk to our winners when we come back.
At Brooklyn College, there's an energy that runs through everything we do.
All right.
Whether you'll study business or psychology,
Good
win a
job.
Grammy, or rewrite history, come find your place at the best public liberal arts college in New York City. Named the best value college and the most ethnically diverse student body in America. With athletics, a pool, track, fitness center, and over 120 clubs and organizations on a sprawling campus in the beating heart of Brooklyn. You belong at Brooklyn College.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiate.
Congratulations,
You
Marcus.
can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
All right, Marcus, can you hear me in your ear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Might be a little bit louder, so when he talks, if you want to lean over to him, but
The quality of our
we'll be good.
choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you
Yep.
choose to see a
Yeah,
doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limited?
Welcome you back to the Hawk's Nest, and it is the Gothic Knights, the 2026 CUNYAC champions, as we are joined courtside by our man of the match, Marcus Pardesi. Marcus, congratulations on the victory. When you put this whole year into one giant word, what's that word for you?
Perseverance. Yeah, perseverance. In one word, it'd be perseverance.
I have to ask, obviously we know what's happening with the school and changing over to Kane afterwards. How important was it for you guys to win a championship to represent Jersey City?
It means everything to us. It really does, because this was our way of saying, like, on our terms. We win on our terms. Everything is on our terms, between practices, games, everything. It was all on our terms, and this is the perfect ending for us.
And Marcus, you really exploded in that fourth set. You finished with 17 kills. You hit 359. What was clicking for you in that fourth set in particular?
Just losing that third set. With that, when that happened, I was like, we have to win. We have to win, and because there's no way we're ending not like this. So I had to do my thing, I guess.
You know, it seems like this year it really wasn't just one or two stars. It was a complete team effort. When you think back to this group and this particular season, how were you guys able to get it done?
Knowing it's our last, honestly, like, everything being on the line for us, it made it so that this meant everything to every single one of us, and people stepped up in ways that you guys can't imagine, honestly. Like, everyone was on the same track and pace, and that's why this is the result we got.
And that third set kind of just got away from you at the end. They had that 6-point run to finish the set. What was Carlo Edra saying to you in the huddle afterwards?
He just said, you don't win swinging or tipping. You don't win tipping. Swing the ball, and we have each other's back. Swing the ball, and that's how you win a game. You don't win being scared.
All right, well, Marcus, for all the alums that are watching out there and Gothic Knight Nation, what's your message to them as you close out the CUNYAC season?
NJCU on top. NJCU on top.
Certainly on top as they're going on to the NCAA tournament after knocking off Baruch in 4 sets. Let's take a quick break. Trophy ceremony.
Imagine yourself doing remarkable things on the historic Harlem campus of the City College of New York. Home to hundreds of leaders and named as a 2022 Hispanic Serving Institution, a green college, and a top school globally. CCNY is the perfect place to make your dream your reality. Stop by one of their many events like Open House, visit the campus in person, or explore CCNY online. Your place in history is waiting. Explore CCNY. Visit ccny.cuny.edu to learn more.
The quality of our choices
looking right there?
the quality of our lives.
Yep.
So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world.
We are joined by the Coach of the Year, now CUNYAC champion, Carlo Edra, all-time winningest coach in NJCU history. Carlo, you're CUNYAC champs, and I know that this one feels a little extra special this year.
Can I say something really quick first that nobody has on their notes? Back in 2009, my father passed away. I gave his eulogy, and we had a match at Hunter that night. Lost the first 2 sets, won the next 3. It was the most emotional win of my career. I coached in the suit that I gave my dad's eulogy in. To win this conference at the same gym, knowing that this is our last hurrah, is insane. How you cannot make up these stories. Like, reality is always stranger than fiction, and you could not have written a more storybook ending. And I'm trying so hard to keep everything together right now, because obviously, yeah, our university's done, our athletic department's done after this season. But to win this match here, when this place has so much history for me, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot.
And I'd imagine you're getting a little extra help from up above, too. When you think back to this group and this group of guys, what are you going to remember about this team?
It's our chemistry, our camaraderie. We preach family in our team, brotherhood, and these guys really personify that as best as it can possibly be done.
And was there any sort of pressure from the rest of the athletic department? I think we talked earlier about this week, but
every coach in the department throughout our season just kept saying, "You guys are our last chance at this." And I mean, no pressure. It was cool, but that's the thing about us is we want the pressure, and we knew we were one of the strongest teams in our department, and that our school was looking for something to celebrate, and I'm glad we get to give them that thing to celebrate.
I'm going to let you celebrate in a second, but for all of those that are not in attendance or maybe watching the playback, what's your message to the alums, former players, and everybody that has seen a Gothic Night game for you?
We did it. We're going out. We're going out on top, guys and girls.
Carlo, congratulations on the victory. That's Carlo Ledger. Let's take a break. Trophy ceremony coming up next.
Congratulations.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
Back here at the Hawks Nest, CUNYAC runner-up, the Baruch Bearcats. They are unseated as champions for the first time in 5 years. But Mike, a lot to be proud of for Brady Ambrose in his first year, and of course the senior class.
Absolutely. Hats off to the new man in charge. Keeping his guys poised throughout the season, knowing that with the addition of the now champion NJCU to the conference, defending their title was not going to be nearly as easy as it's been in years past. I'm looking forward to see where the Bearcats go from here with their current core of guys like Peter Gavrov, Zach Yao, the Osmanais, set to graduate this year. We'll likely see them at the ECAC championship next week, but honestly, nothing to hang your head on. 5 championships in a row, nothing to scoff at. You can guarantee the Bearcats will be back.
Yeah, and a signature victory over Rutgers Newark, a top 25 team. They were 16th at the time. This is a Baruch team that always plays a national schedule, and you bet your bottom dollar that they'll be back as well. But Brady Ambrose has this team in the right direction, and you know this more than anybody at Baruch. There's never a rebuild, it's just refueling.
Yeah, just keep going and going and going. Brady Ambrose active on the recruiting tour. Got a couple of new guys coming in next year who I can't mention just yet. But you can bet your bottom dollar that they'll be reloaded next year, and they'll be hungrier than ever with the new core of guys. Ben Nierenstein in particular, Brennan O'Connor, Sonogo, Michael Tiroli, Caleb Leewen, Lucas Maziars, who we all saw tonight. Those guys are going to be dying for that championship glory that past Bearcats teams have had.
And it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, the personnel for that group and Ambro, but always freshmen that come in and look to compete. And obviously, a couple of seniors that the Bearcats are losing, and obviously, you get some transfers in there as well. But it's going to be interesting. Baruch is going nowhere, and there are the NJCU Gothic Knights. I thought it was really poetic last night that after they knocked off John Jay, they stood in the middle of the court for probably about a half hour after the game ended and just reminisced. It was essentially everybody's senior night. The last time that they were playing on a home court, now they're going to have some hardware here as well, as Commissioner Dr. Kurt Patberg talking with the Coach of the Year, Carlo Edra. But NJCU, they knew that it would be a three-horse race. Edra knew that he would have his work cut out for him, but they checked all the boxes in 2026.
Absolutely, and I got to see a little bit of that ceremony at the end of yesterday's semifinal. Very touching ceremony, just celebrating the history of this program. They haven't really had much championship success, but they can really celebrate now. This is a brotherhood that's never going to die. This stays forever for these guys.
And there are the captains, Marcus Pardesi, Alex Casais, and Mike McGee.
Just fantastic leaders all around. Casais running the offense. He's going to have a chance to get to the 3,000 assist mark in the NCAA tournament. Marcus Pardesi, nearly 1,000 kills in his career. Just the leadership of these guys, and then McGee, who Carlo Edra called the cranky older brother, just keeping their guys motivated.
And I'm sure the publications will be out there, obviously, social media, but it is going to be interesting to see. And you know what? I'd have to imagine that obviously Carlo Edra is going to do his best to put his players that have eligibility in a good spot, but his phone's going to be off the hook as well as those student athletes, because there are some big pieces that can help other programs trying to take the next step.
Oh, for sure. And you gotta wonder if after the merge with Kane happens, if some of them will take their talents there. But for now, they don't have to worry about that. They can celebrate tonight. A very hard-fought championship win. They've been second fiddle in the Skyline for a long time to St. Joseph's of Long Island. New conference, different result, though. And they've got a lot to be proud of.
There's Matt Peralta, no sophomore slump, the Rookie of the Year in the Skyline a year ago. Fantastic tonight for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, and going back to last year's Skyline Championship game, Peralta was blocked on match point. And I can only imagine how he's feeling now that he played a key part in delivering a championship to Jersey City.
Victor D'Souza, big game tonight as well. Finished with 9 points, 7 kills, a couple of digs.
Don't be fooled by the size. That dude is a big man. Only 5'10", but he plays like he's 7 feet tall. We're watching from the sideline. Just an incredible vertical. And the only reason he became a middle blocker last year was because Amaru Perales, who was one of the all-stars for this team, was lost to a thyroid issue very early in the season last year. And the transition for D'Souza has just been seamless.
Sophomore Matthew McSorley, 4-year member from Colonia High School.
Member of the basketball team as well.